Namaste. In this video, we are going to learn Kapalbhati and every minute detail about Kapalbhati that could be summarized in a small duration. Okay, so what we are going to learn here is what exactly is Kapalbhati, how does it work, what's the best way to do it, how to not do it, what are the things to avoid, when should we avoid doing Kapalbhati, when's the best time to do it, how does it work, and what are the customizations for beginner, intermediate, and expert. We're going to cover everything. Okay, so number one is that this is a part of Shatkarma, which comes from Maharshi Gheran, documented in Gheran Samhita. Shatkarma is a cleansing practice. It cleanses not just your body on a physical level, but also on metaphysical level, which is each cell of your body, each atom of your body, each energy channel of your body gets purified, gets cleansed. And it also purifies your thought, the way you think, the way you perceive things, that purification also happens. That's why it's called Shatkarma. A lot of people consider it as pranayama because this is a breath work, so they consider it pranayama. But no, there are multiple types of Kapalbhati, using water, using milk, using different kind of fluids. Air is one of those fluids that we use. So Shatkarma Kapalbhati, then there's Vyutkarma Kapalbhati, and then there is Vatkarma Kapalbhati. So Vatkarma Kapalbhati is the one where we are using air as the means to cleanse. And usually that's the most common form of Kapalbhati, and because we are using air to cleanse ourselves, that's why people believe it's pranayama, but it is not. So pranayama is essentially regulation, management of prana, which is your life's vital force. But before you regulate that prana, it is important that you increase the quality of the prana, not just the quantity. You have to increase the quality of the prana. To increase the quality of prana, there are multiple practices that we do. Cleansing, Shatkarma is one of those. So through Kapalbhati, you're not actually going to increase your prana, but you're going to increase the quality of the prana. That's why it's not a pranayama, it's a cleansing method. Okay, now why should we do Kapalbhati? What are the benefits? Kapalbhati has amazing benefits. If you have any digestive issue, if you find it difficult to digest, or if you're constipated, or if you find it difficult to derive the nutrients from the food, it is going to be amazing. If you have any breathing issue around the lung capacity, it's going to be amazing. If you have any issue with the head, you have headache, migraine, things like that, if you have blockages in the nerves, it's going to help you cleanse that as well. That's why it's called Kapalbhati. Kapal means skull, Bhati means radiant. So it makes your entire face radiant. That's what it does through the cleansing process. What are the other benefits? So this is particularly an Apana Vayu practice. So Apana Vayu, there are different kinds of Vayus, and Apana Vayu is the Vayu below the navel. So it is also going to help you with organs below the navel, which is your excretory system, your reproductive system. So if you find it difficult to excrete, this is going to help you with that. Any reproductive problem, let's say men have prostate cancer. There's 50% chance that men who die are gonna die with prostate cancer in them. So this also helps reduce the chances of prostate cancer. And then for women, this also helps in PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. So this is an amazing technique for all of these benefits. Okay, now let's understand how to do it, when to do it, what to avoid, what's the best way to do it. So number one is that you should do it only empty stomach, at least 3 hours of gap between the meal and doing this particular practice. So ideally the best time is in the morning, after freshening up. So you wake up, you freshen up, you lighten up, you are empty stomach, and then you practice this. This is the best time to practice it. But if you want to practice it throughout the day, any other time, it's not the most preferable time, but do it only at least 3 hours after eating, after consuming the meal. So Kapalbhati is also a way to send energy from the navel. It is called fire breath. And fire essentially, okay, is an English term, but the Sanskrit term is Ushna. Ushna is a kind of energy which is resonant with heat. So to send heat from the navel to the head, this process is Kapalbhati. And for you to be able to do that, it is important that you have Ushna within you. Whereas if you are eating food, so your stomach energies are being utilized in digesting the food that you have eaten. That's why we need to maintain this gap. That's why morning is the best time to do it, empty stomach. Okay. Now, what should be the duration? What should be the frequency? So there are thumb rules, like for example, beginners do it 10 times or 20 times, intermediate do it 50 times, or advanced do it like 300 times. But these thumb rules do not apply. Think of it as this way. If while doing Kapalbhati, your stomach starts to hurt, you have to stop. Doesn't matter whether you're a beginner, whether you're an intermediate or an advanced practitioner. If it happens after 10 repetitions, stop. If it happens after 50 repetitions, stop. Whenever that happens, you have to stop. Okay, now what's the frequency? How fast and slow you should do? Again, there are thumb rules. Like for beginners, do one exhalation in 2 seconds. For intermediate, do one exhalation per second. And then for advanced practitioners, do 2 exhalations per second. But again, none of these thumb rules should apply. Ideally, what you have to do is when you exhale from your belly, what you have to ensure is you give yourself enough time that you have relaxed your stomach. You shouldn't keep your stomach contracted throughout. You're of course contracting your stomach during this process, but that contraction and relaxation, both of these things should happen. It shouldn't be contracting and then keeping it slightly contracted and then keeping exhaling, forcefully exhaling. That's what we have to avoid. Okay, so your duration, you can start with, let's say, one breath every 2 seconds, like this. And observe, are you giving yourself enough time to relax your stomach or not? That's the thing to observe. If you feel it is enough time, you can speed up. If you feel it's not enough time, you can slow down. So customize it for yourself. Now, which part of the stomach should be sucked in? Normally, a general statement is suck your entire belly in, but that's a general statement. Because this works on apana vayu, which is the vayu below your navel, that's the area that you have to compress. You have to compress the area below your navel. Of course, when you're starting, it is difficult to isolate just that particular movement. So your entire belly is going to compress, but you can work with your awareness. Whenever you're compressing, feel the bottom part of your navel, something below the navel, that part is compressing. That's what you have to feel. Okay. Now, how do we do it? What's the best way to do it? That's where posture works. So ideally, you want a posture where your tailbone is straight, because if your tailbone is flexed, you're going to be pressing your belly. If you're already pressing your belly, compressing your belly, it becomes difficult to suck that part in. So you want it to be relaxed. Now, how do we keep tailbone straight? A simple way is, if your hips are above your knees, it's gonna help. So how can you do that? You can sit in Vajrasana, you can sit in Padmasana, or you can sit even on a chair. That's also fine. You can do all of this as long as you ensure that your tailbone is straight and your pelvic is not tilted forward. That's what you have to do. So that's the best way to sit. In terms of the mechanism, what are we exactly doing? We are sending energies from our navel center. The fire energies are generated at the navel center to the top. And this process is going to heal the abdominal organs. This process is going to heal the organs in your chest, and it's going to heal your head. Now, for it to reach the Kapal, it is important that it doesn't get diversified or it doesn't get diluted in your face. Okay, so how do you prevent that? The best way to prevent that is to keep your face neutral and calm. Don't forcefully exhale so much that it changes your expressions, like, no, you shouldn't do that. Do it at a pace that your face is calm so that the energy can reach the top. Otherwise, it will get diluted here on your face. That's the best way to do it. If you have any questions, you can drop your questions in the comment. Hari Om.